A decision will be made on Thursday whether the courthouses will be open on Friday. State Attorney's Office in Duval, Nassau, and Clay counties will all be closed on Thursday. And like the courts, they will monitor and make a decision about whether courts will be in session on Friday. Clerk of Courts, both the courthouse and Beaches locations of the Clerk of Courts will be closed on Thursday, and we'll continue to provide you updates on what happens there on Friday. Property Appraiser's Office will be closed Thursday, Supervisor of Elections Office, downtown, and the Election Center on Imison Park Boulevard will both be closed on Thursday. JEA continues to monitor the storm and will be prepared with more than 2,200 team members and out-of-state utility crew members to respond to the imminent impacts here in Northeast Florida. JEA encourages customers to visit jea.com/storm, jea.com/storm to ensure your contact information is up to date and to register for power restoration alerts. It's probably going to be a busy day for them with all the wind that's going to be coming through with this storm. Because we've had a saturated ground, and we also have a situation where we may be losing some trees in these winds, which means power outages. So make sure you take down that information. It's going to be important for you to have. The JTA, Jacksonville Transportation Authority, continue to run regular operations on JTA's fixed bus route, BRT, First Coast Flyer routes, connection, and ready ride service as long as it is safe to do so on Thursday. The JTA anticipates resuming normal service on Friday, so you're getting a theme here, right? We all expect things to deteriorate on Thursday and then become better quite early, really on Friday as conditions rapidly improve. The St. Johns River Ferry will be closed on Thursday and is anticipated to be back in service on Friday. Skyway will be closed on Thursday as well, and JTA will start supporting sheltering operations starting on Wednesday. You know, the shelters are going to open Wednesday at 4 p.m., and they'll have free rides for residents to 5 shelters that are out there, and we'll tell you what those are in just a minute. The My JTA app is also a great resource for you if you want to know where to get those routes. Old updates. I love that. Old updates. We've said this, but it bears repeating. I have signed an executive order declaring a local state of emergency that started at 12 noon today. This is a necessary step to initiate local resources that are needed to protect the public during storms, and that includes everything from opening shelters to making sure that the city can be reimbursed for storm expenses. Also this morning, Governor DeSantis added Duval County to the executive order declaring a state of emergency on the state level. The Duval County Emergency Operations Center is partially activated today, and it will move to full activation in just a couple of hours at 8 p.m. tonight. Office closures. All City of Jacksonville offices will be closed on Thursday during the worst parts of the storm. Only essential personnel will be there. We expect that operations will open as normal on Friday unless the storm takes longer to get here. Duval County schools will be closed on Thursday and Friday. So while you will be seeing the weather clear rapidly on Friday, you have to remember that 4 of our 5 shelters that will be open are going to be in Duval County schools. So it takes a while to clear those, to break them down, and to close those up, and that's why schools will be closed on Friday as well. Speaking of the shelters, okay, 5 of them, as we said, if you are living in a trailer, an older home, or a low-lying area, you may want to consider one of these shelters during the storm. Atlantic Coast High School, Chaffee Trail Elementary School, the Legends Center, Landmark Middle, and La Villa School of the Arts. If you have a flight that's leaving on Thursday or Friday, right now we don't have any updates about flights being canceled. We know the airport will remain open as long as the airlines are continuing to fly. So if your flight is in question, you should contact your airline to find out what the status of that flight is. Public Works. Various Public Works teams are taking care of clearing trees, clearing drains, securing loose items in advance of the storm. We'll be keeping solid waste pickup on schedule Thursday and Friday as long as it is safe to do so. And if there are any homes missed on those days, we'll have pickup for them on Saturday. So what we'd like for you to do now is please take a few minutes before dark to secure items around your yard and around your home. So walk around your property, clean up any limbs or debris that may clog storm drain systems. You may want to clean out your gutters, secure some loose outdoor items. You don't want your patio furniture flying around when the winds start to pick up. They could become projectiles in your yard or in your house. Be mindful of trees that could become uprooted from heavy winds and that are already saturated ground from the previous weeks of rain. We've seen this in other areas over the past couple of weeks, just with the rain that we've had, trees just coming down, and we expect with the winds we're going to experience that will happen again. Ensure your supply kits are stocked and that you have an emergency plan for your family, and all your final prep should take place before Wednesday evening. So we're expecting, while those bands of rain may start to come in on Wednesday, that things will start to deteriorate then, so that if you get everything done today and tomorrow, you can hunker down on Thursday, and that's really what we'd like you to do. Try to stay off the roads on Thursday if you possibly can, because that's when we're going to be expecting those high winds, and you may come into a situation where you have to approach a bridge and you won't be able to get over, because if winds exceed 40 miles per hour sustained, you're not going to be able to get over that bridge for a while. So try to make plans to stay home if you can on Thursday. 630 City is going to be there 24/7 starting tomorrow morning. So any calls that come in starting at 8 a.m. on Wednesday to 7 p.m. on Friday through the duration of the storm will come into 630 City and will be answered 24/7. So also a reminder to visit our jacksready.com/Helene for any updates on this storm. Really good information always on jacksready.com. So please visit that. And at this moment, I would like for Angie and Yeti to come up and give us the very latest on the storm.
Good evening. My name is Angie Agnetti, meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Jacksonville, here to support Duval County as we collectively go through Helene. As of 5 p.m., Tropical Storm Helene had sustained winds around 50 miles an hour. There's been an increase in intensity with the system this afternoon, and also better organization. Over the next 24 to 36 hours, the center of the storm is going to drift northward and eventually come across the southern Gulf of Mexico, where by tomorrow afternoon, the system is expected to be intensified to Hurricane Helene. At that point, the storm begins to take more of a northeast track, rapidly increasing in intensity, something called rapid intensification, to a major hurricane. That's a Category 3 or higher as it moves northeastward across the eastern Gulf of Mexico, approaching Appalachia Bay into Thursday and Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. So landfall is looking like it's going to be more of the Appalachia Bay, Florida Big Bend area. That said, for our area, for the First Coast, even though the center of the storm is expected to be landfall well to our west, the storm is expected to have a increasing, expanding wind radius around it, meaning that this large wind field is still expected to bring tropical storm conditions to the First Coast. As the mayor mentioned, the timing of those strongest winds looks to be Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. And when we say tropical storm force winds, that's winds sustained at 40 miles per hour or more. Now, as of 5 p.m., we are underneath a tropical storm watch. A watch means that tropical storm conditions are possible in the watch area within about 48 hours. So the watch is like our heads up product that, okay, let's go ahead and finish up our preparations. Given good weather today, this evening, and into tomorrow through Wednesday, that's a great time period, as the mayor said, to fortify your emergency supply kits, go over your plans, and be ready to find your safe shelter by tomorrow evening. That would be Wednesday evening, because at that point, that's when we're going to be expecting some of the outer rain bands to come up the Florida Peninsula. Within those rain bands is going to be tornado potential, as well as locally heavy rainfall. So ideally, we want folks to kind of be where they want to be to ride out the storm by tomorrow evening, Wednesday evening. And certainly the worst of the impacts will transpire through the course of the day, Thursday, with the brunt of the storm Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. During that time of the strongest winds, Thursday afternoon and evening, is where we could see storm surge of up to 3 feet, especially targeted on areas of the river, including downtown Jacksonville, near Hogan's Creek, as well as San Marco area, Riverside, and Ortega. Along the immediate coast, we could have some inundation up to 3 feet, but with such a good dune structure there, we're not expecting significant coastal storm surge impacts with Helene. But the riverfront will be the more vulnerable locations. In terms of rainfall amounts, for our county, we're generally looking about 2 to 4 inches, but there could be isolated amounts up to 6 inches. Now, 2 to 4 doesn't sound like a whole heck of a lot, but given the saturated grounds that we have had over the area, and many areas haven't flushed out, haven't drained out properly, any additional heavy rainfall over a short period of time is going to certainly cause some localized flooding issues. So to highlight that flood potential, we do have a flood watch in effect as well that goes into effect Wednesday night. It's out currently, but it doesn't go into effect until Wednesday night as those outer rain bands approach us.
Okay. All right. Any questions for any of us? All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here. We'll be back at 12:05 tomorrow. And in the meantime, please encourage everybody to keep making their storm preps and be safe. Thank you.